Let's begin, as always, with our deep, slow, quiet, even breaths, long and slow, deep and silent, in through the nose and out from the mouth, in through the belly and out from the chest, in through the heart and out from the mind. And as you continue your long, slow, deep, silent breaths, begin to extend every exhale. So remember, we have two floating ribs down at the bottom of our rib cage, and they're next to our lower lobes of our lungs, and our lower lobes of our lungs hold reserve capacity. So at the bottom of every breath, you can squeeze a little more air out. Notice how much deeper your inhale is afterwards. As we always say, the key to taking a deep breath isn't what we draw in. The key to taking a deep breath is what we puff out, the bottom of every breath. So when you extend your exhale, you tip your nervous system towards rest or digest. That's by design. It's a beautiful design. And it also increases your capacity to take a much deeper inhale. So continue that breathing manner. And now, as you're doing so, if you happen to invite your eyes to close, begin to focus your attention on this fleeting minute that passes like that. And this is known as the transition, where your out breath becomes your in breath, and your in breath then becomes your out breath. Seek out those transitions, those fleeting moments. The idea is the seeking, not the finding. If you'll notice, the fleeting moment is infinitesimal, and that's the idea. But as you seek for it, you're sharpening your mind on the stone of the breath. So extend every exhale, squeeze a little more air out, and seek the fleeting moments. And after a few more breaths like this, if your eyes happen to be closed, you can invite them to slowly flutter open as a butterfly might leave a flower. And we'll begin with our warm-ups as we always do, from the top of the kinetic chain all the way to the bottom, beginning with what we call the yoga neck roll. We take a deep breath in and let our head float like it's a balloon on a string. And then as we exhale through pursed lips, as if we're letting the air out of the balloon. Then when we inhale again, we inhale and sweep one ear past one shoulder. We exhale and we sweep across our chest. Inhale the other ear past the other shoulder. Exhale, sweep across, and just get into the rhythm of your own breath. Sweeping across as you exhale, inhale past your ear. You're warming up your upper respiratory sinus. As we know, there's 3 muscles, each on each side of the neck. They begin just under your ear and they end on your upper 2 ribs. They're called scalenes because they're shaped like scalene triangles. There's an anterior, middle, and posterior on each side. We're warming those up because they stabilize our rib cage every time our diaphragm drops. So we're just warming up our respiratory sinus. And on your next exhale, you can pause at the bottom. Inhale your chin back upright, and we'll work into the shoulder girdles. We'll loop our shoulder blades forward and upward as we inhale, bring them around back, squeeze them downward and backward as we exhale. We continue in these big looping circles, squeezing downward, looping upward. Breathe deeply. Let your shoulder blades follow the rhythm of your breath and squeeze those shoulder blades downward on the way down. Just wake up that area between the shoulder blades. Beautifully done. And after 1 or 2 more of these, you can relax your shoulders. Turn your eyes towards one hand and begin to scoop and toss behind you from side to side, scooping with palm up, tossing with palm down. And if you're comfortable doing so, beginning to calibrate your breath with your hands. So you inhale as you scoop up, exhale as you toss behind you, palm down. This is a silk reeling exercise we call windmills. I'm sure there are different names as well. It's just getting the upper body involved. After you've done a few more of these, begin to reel your shoulder blades into the action, and you can relax your arms and begin reeling backward, one shoulder blade following the other. Notice your shift in weight and your turn in trunk. This is by design. So we work our way down into the lower respiratory sinus. and the lower thoracic spine. And we can go right into our classic warm-up known as the ragdoll or the constant bear. And we simply rock from side to side, let our trunk turn, allow a little shift in weight if you're so inclined. And then from the ragdoll or constant bear, we go into our favorite, the pellet drum. We begin to slap or tap the opposite shoulder at the top and the low back. As we slap, as we tap from side to side, we begin to work our way down into the top of the chest, up safe where you can slap or tap. You give yourself a nice rap, tap, or slap, whatever you feel like you need today. And then from the top of the chest, we'll work down to the bottom of the rib cage, those floating ribs we were just talking about. Give yourself a slap or a tap, and then finally down to your hips. As we warmed up that entire respiratory sinus, how beautiful, a beautiful morning. We allow ourselves to let our hands drift to our hips, and we begin a big hula hoop maneuver, a looping of the hips we call stirring the bowl. Just like you're holding the bell of a wine glass, you've got a sip of wine left, and you're just swirling it around the bottom of the glass. And wherever you are in this sequence, simply pause and loop in the opposite direction. We always strive to balance yin and yang. We always strive to unwind what we've wound. And now allow your center of gravity to settle within your base of support. Step into a little bit wider stance. We call this horse stance. You're down like you're riding a horse, for a couple of warm-ups known first as the Great Bear Swings. We take a deep breath in. We exhale, turn to one side, drop all the way down. Inhale, rise to pause. Exhale, drop down. Inhale, rise to pause. You rest your hands anywhere between your knees and your hips. As you inhale up and exhale down, shifting weight, turning trunk, allowing yourself the freedom of the movement that horse stance provides. Beautifully done. And now you can exhale down, pause at the middle, inhale your trunk back upright, and still remaining in horse stance, let's do a little shifting weight on a figure eight. Get yourself kind of into this rhythm and swing. This movement of the hips is how we move our lower body, and it controls our upper body. So remember our visualization of our 3 stacked river rocks. This is how it's accomplished. It's this shifting weight on a figure eight. So give yourself a few of these loops, just feel it. And then after you've done a few, invite yourself to pause in the middle, bring your feet back into a comfortable stance, and then shift weight to one foot, raise the opposite heel, loop the knee like Elvis a couple of times, maybe inward at first or outward, because you're going to do both. Do a few outward if you've done inward or vice versa. Then take weight through that foot, raise the opposite heel, loop inward, and a few outward. Allow your center of gravity to settle within your base of support, and before we move on, gently clasp your hands, do a few wrist rolls. Might as well get everything warmed up. In whichever direction you chose, simply pause, loop in the opposite direction. There you go. Now, let's relax the hands down and begin our Qigong breathing. We inhale our palms up towards our heart. We exhale our palms down towards our lap, and we continue to breathe in this manner. You follow the rhythm of your own breath. The palms always lead the way, upward as you inhale, downward as you exhale. And if you're comfortable, invite your eyes to close so you can use the power of your own personal visualization, imagination, and concentration. And we use this to prepare our minds with Qigong breathing and a classic meditation we know as cleansing the inner body. As you inhale your palms up, you imagine a glowing mist rising from the earth through the soles of your feet, through all of your trillions of cells, to collect in your upper Dantian, the third eye center. And as you exhale and your palms melt down, you imagine that glowing mist formed a glowing cloud. That glowing cloud formed a glowing rain. And that glowing rain rains down your inner body with each exhale. So with each inhale, a glowing mist rises. With each exhale, a glowing rain falls. As you do so, you're cleansing your inner body and preparing it for all that follows. So on your next inhale, you can invite your hands to pause at heart height in the hugging stance and pose we know lovingly as stand like tree, where we take inventory of our alignment. So with long neck and light head floating upward, our heavy shoulders and our heavy tail melt downward. And as we do so, our spine gently stretches between them. This is what's known as the string of pearls in the ancient Asian literature. And our feet are in a firm, rooted stance while our hands hover as if we're tenderly hugging a long-lost loved one. As our feet are in this rooted stance like a mighty oak, our three Dantian balance perfectly on one another, as if we've gathered three smooth river rocks and stacked them perfectly on life's river's edge. And if eyes are closed, we enjoy it as we feel the echoes of our warm-ups from head to toe, those yoga neck rolls, those dajue rolls, that constant bear in the pellet drum, stirring the bowl in the great bear swings. We see them, we feel them in our mind's eye. We feel it course through us, the echoes of the chi we stirred as our hands begin a slow journey downward until our thumbs cross over our belly button. Our folded fingers warm just below there in the area known lovingly as the lower Dantian, the seat of chi energy, the cauldron of the body. And using the visualization of the cauldron of the body through closed eyes and pursed lips, extending every exhale as if blowing through a straw, we blow on the embers of the cauldron of the body gently, and as we do, the embers respond and grow brighter and brighter with each extended exhale. And with each deep ensuing inhale, we draw that light upward, and we begin to blow on the middle Dantian, the seat of emotion and compassion, the cauldron of the heart. And again, we blow on those embers, and they respond and grow brighter and brighter as we fill our inner galaxy with bright, silken energy. It escapes our inner galaxy, and it bathes the space around us with light, warm, silken chi energy. May your body be strong, and may your heart be calm. And if your eyes are closed, enjoy it a moment longer as you invite your hands to slowly, gently float down to your side, and you invite your eyes to slowly, gently flutter open, just as a butterfly might leave a flower. Beautifully done. Now we step into the center of our little boat, and our hand on this side of the room or screen floats before our heart in a gentle fist. The hand on this side covers it, and together we take a deep breath in to straighten, and we slowly exhale and bow to one another. And this is a gesture of mutual respect. As we inhale ourselves back upright in gratitude for this tradition, as we exhale, our hands melt down. When we inhale again, we inhale them up overhead about an inch apart. And we slowly and deliberately exhale down our center line. This is centering our chi where we begin and end. When we do it again, we do one more, and this one, out of deference to the Shaolin, our palms come together. As the Shaolin do, we exhale only to the heart center, the middle Dantian. And when we inhale again, elbows rise and wrists straighten. When we exhale, hands melt down. Beautifully done. We're now ready to step out into our little boat and unlock our knees. And when we inhale again, we bring the hands up an inch apart and our knees rise. As we exhale down, our knees fall with our hands and breath. So we float with every inhale and we melt with every exhale. And we know this movement lovingly as sinking the chi. When we do our live classes at Funky Town in St. Augustine or Haywood Regional here in the mountains, we always return to sinking the chi because it's an opportunity between all the series we do in the live on-site classes to regain our focus and alignment. So those 3 smooth river rocks that we gathered and stacked and balanced perfectly on life's river's edge remain upright. Beautifully done. The upper Dantian resting on the middle Dantian, resting on the lower Dantian. Well done. Now, when our hands drop again, we're going to invite them to pause at the bottom. We'll inhale them extended up to heart height, and then we'll exhale back down, and we'll continue this movement for several breaths. We know this lovingly as opening the door. Beautifully done, rising with the breath and falling with the breath, floating and melting in concert with the breath, in harmony with each other. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you to spread the hands wide, and we're going to stand like tree with eyes open. So rise, spread, and stand like tree, eyes open. Beautifully done. The hand on this side of the room or screen comes out and winds up at our lap, palm up, and we melt into a stance known as embracing the moon. As we inhale, we roll and rise, and as we exhale, we melt down. Beautifully done. And continue, rise and roll as you inhale, exhale down. Now, as we continue this, and you can follow your own breath, realize this looks very similar to a move you'll see in Tai Chi and Qigong that's used in the 6 or 8 arm series. It's also a version, believe it or not, of the penetrating heaven and earth in the Ba Dua Jin. And here's what I mean. As you're doing this embracing the moon, all you have to do with this variation is to reach out higher and then inhale. That's it. And then as you exhale, reach higher and inhale down. And you'll see this is a very similar approach. You'll often see in the Ba Dua Jin, you push the palms out, then you bring the palms together. Exhale out, inhale together. So continue this a few more times. This is just a wrinkle. You know, this is what we look at as we explore the different options in Strong Qigong. We start to see similarities between different traditions and different patterns. And that's all we're doing here. Now, we'll bring this back in. As you do your embracing the moon, less reaching, and just go back to switching as we always do. So we're back between our shoulders and our hips. See that? Pretty cool. Now, we'll go into some more similar favorite moves. So as you inhale up, exhale down. On this next one, pause at the bottom. Take that deep breath in, and as you exhale, exhale this elbow past this knee. Then inhale your lower hand up. Exhale its elbow past the other knee, and continue to inhale your hand up. Exhale across. As you do so, let your hand float past your field of vision. And if you can, focus your hand on the palm as you exhale past. I was mentioning Terry earlier from our Funky Town class, and she mentioned that one visualization she uses in waving hands like clouds, like we're doing right now, is that her hand is a sailboat on the water, and she's blowing on the sail as the hand floats across. I thought that was a beautiful visualization. If you're so inclined, try it as we rock our little boat on our moonlit night on our placid Lake Junaluska up here in the Blue Ridge. Beautifully done. The lower hand carrying the moon across the bow of the boat. We inhale it up, and as we exhale across, it becomes the clouds clearing the moon's surface. Waving hands like clouds. How beautiful, one of our favorites. On this next one, as you return to center line, pause and embrace the moon. Now, we take this lower hand, palm up, and we begin to open a veil. So you're making this circular motion with this lower hand, almost a stirring motion. Now, as you continue to do this, palm up, notice your shift in weight and your turn in trunk, and see if you can engage that shifting weight on the figure eight a little bit. As we do so, we're putting together the pieces of parting the wild horse's mane. So in a moment, I'm going to ask you to, as you return to center, bring your foot with you into a toe step or T step, like so. And then bow step out, and then toe step back, and bow step out. And as you continue to piece together this move, on this next one, engage the upper hand and push down. And then return to your starting position, embrace moon toe step, push down, and continue in this manner. Now, if you want to get your breath involved, you inhale back to center and you exhale to side. And you are parting the wild horse's mane. Beautifully done. Inhale to center, exhale to side. Now, in a moment, I'm going to ask you to leave that extended hand out there. And now the upper extended hand can return to center. At your collarbone height, you can square up that foot that you just had extended, and you're in position to do it east and west. So we'll begin with that opening the veil. Casting out, inhale back. If you can feel that swivel in your hips, allow it to happen, the shifting weight on a figure eight. Then when you feel comfortable doing so, invite that foot to T-step or toe step back and bow step out. Toe step and bow step. Beautifully done. Continue that rhythm. Then when you feel ready to do so, engage the upper hand and push down. Inhale and return to toe step and push down again. And just like that, you're parting the wild horse's mane east and west. Remember your breath if you can do so comfortably. Inhale to center and exhale to side. Beautifully done. Now, as we work our way towards the end of this session, we'll explore a few other moves. On this next one, I'd like you to leave the hand extended. The upper hand returns to embrace moon. You can square up your stance if you'd like to. And with no footwork, let's part the horse's mane to the east. Then pause. The upper hand returns to center, and we part the horse's mane to the west. We pause. We return to center, part the horse's mane to the east. We return to center and switch to the west. And let's continue this. So we inhale to center and we exhale to side. You have this smooth movement from side to side, parting the wild horse's mane east and west reciprocally. You may notice this is very much a silk reeling exercise. So remember, with silk reeling, anything you do repetitively, almost like a calisthenic, is something that falls under the category of silk reeling. And that's what you're doing here. Part the horse's mane east, part the horse's mane west. As you do so, see if you can calibrate your breath with your movement. So you inhale to center, and you exhale to side. And your eyes follow hands, and your hands follow breath, and your breath follows mind. Beautifully done. And now, with the slightest variation, we'll bring this thing home. So on this next one, return to embrace the moon and pause. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, push down your center line and turn towards the opposite palm, right there in front of your field of vision. Then inhale to center, push down, and gaze into the other palm. And let's continue. Inhale to center, exhale to side. This is a seminal movement known as mixing qi in the cauldron of the body. So we inhale to center, and we exhale to side. Beautifully done. Well done. On this next one, simply return to center and pause, embracing the moon. Invite the hands to drop down, find your center, sink your qi. Exhale down. Inhale and rise. When your hands drop again, pause at the bottom, open the door. Floating and melting, rising and falling. When your hands rise again, invite them to spread wide and stand like tree. And with long neck and light head, floating upward, our heavy shoulders and our heavy tail melt downward. As our spine, our string of pearls, stretches between them, our hands hover as if we're tenderly hugging a long-lost loved one. Our feet are parallel in a firm-rooted stance like a mighty oak, as our three Dantians are balanced perfectly on one another like three smooth river rocks we gather to balance on life's river's edge. And with soft knees and soft belly, soft breath and soft gaze, or better yet, eyes closed, we feel the echoes of the qi we stirred. We see and feel embracing the moon, waving hands like clouds, parting the horse's mane and mixing qi in the cauldron of the body. As we do so, our hands begin the slow, final journey downward. Thumbs crossing over the belly button, the folded fingers warming on the cauldron of the body. We resume blowing on the embers of the cauldron of the heart and the cauldron of the body. And as we do, those embers respond obediently, by growing brighter and brighter with each extended exhale through closed eyes and pursed lips. With each deep ensuing inhale, we draw that light upward and outward. We begin to blow on the embers of the cauldron of the mind, the upper Dantian, the seat of visualization, concentration, and imagination, the part of us that put on this beautiful inner show. And we blow on the embers of all three cauldrons. We fill our inner galaxy with the brightest light yet. We fill and spill beyond our inner galaxy and bathe the space around us. We fill the space around us and we bathe the world around us. We fill the world around us and we bathe life itself around us in light, warm, silken chi energy. And may your body stay strong. May your heart stay calm. May your mind stay sharp. And may your spirit stay free. And if eyes are closed, enjoy as your hands melt to your side. When you're ready, your eyes flutter open, you step into the center of your little boat. Inhale the hands up about an inch apart and slowly exhale down, just as promised at the beginning, centering your chi. So the hand on this side can make the gentle fist. The hand on this side can cover it. Together we take a deep breath in and straighten. We slowly exhale and bow. And you give yourselves the round of applause you deserve for being the light you've made in the world today.